Hey, what's up? Lightbolt Joe here. Today we are going to discuss the brand new 2020 sci-fi action adventure thriller film, Love and Monsters. This stars Dylan O'Brien, Michael Rooker, a bunch of other people. This is a pretty interesting film. It's not based off of a movie. It's got a 90-something% on Rotten Tomatoes. It is a comedic, apocalyptic scenario story. Wow, that was a good description of it. Loved it. My kind of movie. My buddy of mine, he got it, and he's saying, no, you need to watch this. This is your kind of movie, and it is my kind of movie. You got Dylan O'Brien is one of the best actors in the history of mankind. I've said this numerous times. I have praised him extensively since his original stint within Teen Wolf. He has that kind of crying power where you believe it, you feel it in your gut, and it's hard watching him cry. So in this, there's certain scenes where he's crying because he's scared. And you feel it in your chest, and you're like, oh, the pain, and it's just he has this craftsmanship of believability, and it's astounding. Using all of my synonyms to describe the one and only Dylan Mother effing O'Brien. Love him. Okay, so this is a monster movie. This is an apocalyptic monster film. It takes place over the course of a 7-year time period. There are flashbacks, and I've expressed my hatred of flashbacks in numerous occasions if they're done wrong, but this was done correctly. You have a flashback moment that actually helps lift the story. Beautiful. So there's a large asteroid coming to destroy Earth. So all of humanity comes together, shoots rockets into the sky, breaks up the asteroid. The day is saved. But with all of the rockets being thrown into space, the particles from the explosion came back down to Earth, and it affected the DNA of all cold-blooded animals, changing their DNA structure to make them larger, fiercer beasts, monsters. So then it's a matter of how do you destroy these large monsters? Where are they coming from? Because it's amphibians, it's reptiles, it's different, insects as well, which I'm not 100% sure if insects are cold-blooded animals. I know they are technically a part of the animal kingdom. I have to look into that, but it was a great concept. Like, it's a monster movie about animals on the planet. It's not aliens. It's not, anything from outside of the realm of the Earth. It's just there was an asteroid. They broke it up. The particles from the rockets came back down, affected the DNA of certain creatures, and created these monsters. So Dylan O'Brien plays his character of Joel, and Joel was with this girl, Amy, right before the apocalypse happened. His parents died, her parents died, most of Fairfield, California, where they're from, gone because of these monster attacks. So he was brought into a colony in a bunker. She runs a colony 85 miles away, and they've been talking via radio, but it's been 7 years, 85 miles away. Joel hasn't left the surface. Joel hasn't gone to the surface because he freezes up, in fear, and his bunker is now having break-ins with these giant monstrous ants. So he decides to try to courage up, go take the 85-mile quest, which is a 7-day walk basically, to the coast where Amy and her colony are, so he can be with her. So he's going and he's fighting this monster, and he's being helped by Michael Rooker and his semi-adopted daughter from their previous colony as their surface dwellers. He finds this dog named Boy, one of the best and well-trained animals I've ever seen on screen ever. Incredible, the amount of talent that dog had at such a young age. I don't even know the dog's name. So, like, the dog's real name. He plays Boy in the show, but whatever. Scenes with him and Dylan are just incredible. So then eventually Dylan gets to the colony that Amy is. Amy explains that she doesn't actually still, love Dylan anymore because it's been 7 years. They're completely different people. And he's like, man, I got so excited, to talk to you. I didn't even think to ask, should I come? But in the process, her colony is being invaded by, this Australian guy and his cronies who chained up this giant crab to their yacht to bring forward. And then Dylan has to face off against a giant crab monster. But he knows, thanks to the help of Michael Rooker and his adopted daughter, that certain monsters aren't bad. You just got to tell them their eyes. And he's looked into the crab's eyes, and he saw that it was a good crab, not a bad crab, and freed the crab. And the crab took down the evil people and destroyed their yacht. And then Joel goes back to his colony, and, he records this message saying, listen, if I can survive on the surface 85 miles both ways and defeated a bunch of monsters in the process. Anyone can do it. We can reclaim our world. We can do this. And then it's an inspirational thing. You know, all these different families and colonies around the world, and whoever's receiving this, you know, message, are listening and gathering their stuff up and breaking to the surface and fight the power. I loved it. Absolutely loved it. I thought it was absolutely incredible. I need to watch it at least 18 more times before the month's over. But it was so cool watching Dylan play such a naive character and like keeping on a younger persona. He's played a lot of adult roles, you know, especially with like American Assassin. Like he was very stoic, very, very militant when it came to that. But then like with his Teen Wolf days, with his Maze Runner days, like he's very like fun and fresh and young. And the voicing of Bumblebee too in Bumblebee the movie, I thought that was pretty neat. So it's nice seeing Dylan play a kid again, kind of, quote unquote. He plays a 24-year-old in this movie, but he's great. He can do anything. He can play the adult roles. He can play the young 20-year-old kid roles. He's just, Dylan O'Brien is one of my favorite actors. He is incredibly talented, and I wish him all the best. I'm so happy that he is still alive, because we almost lost him on the filming of the third Maze Runner. That was not fun. I remember those tweets. I remember those news articles. It was rough. People kept texting me, seeing if I was okay. It was a moment. So yeah, Love and Monsters, go check it out. Via streaming services, I think. I watched it on Vudu. I don't know where else you can watch it. You should go research that, and then we'll talk about it. Mucho mahalo.